So, we've been here all day long. I'd like to ask everybody to just stand up for a second, please. Great. And we're going to mirror each other. So with your right heel, I want you to put your right heel into the ground. Like that. Good. One more time. And then with your left toe, I just want you to hit your left toe on the floor. Toe. So we're going to go right heel, left toe. Right heel, left toe. Boom, ba, boom, ba. Now two heels. Boom, boom, ba. So we got heel, toe, heel, heel, toe. Heel, toe. Say it out loud. Heel, heel, toe. Heel, toe, heel, heel, toe. Have you ever heard the song "We Will Rock You"? This is the beat for that. So we will rock you. Together. We will rock you. All right, check it out. You can take a seat. So, dance is the foundation of movement, of life, of breath. I am a student of Jacques Dubois, and it's just a privilege to be here as I catch my breath. It's a privilege to be here amongst all the incredible artists and thinkers and philosophers who are here. And so I'm going to just share a little bit of my story. When I was 9 years old, I was in public school in New York at PS 183, and my classroom teacher, Miss Michaels, she said, "You're all going to go downstairs to the auditorium and you're going to dance." And I said, "This is not happening. No way, I'm a boy, dances for girls, not wearing tights. I already get made fun of as it is. I do not need to start dancing." So she said, "You're going downstairs." So I went downstairs, and there was a teacher there. Her name was Tracy Strauss, and she was starting to dance, and I just stood on the side of the room with my arms crossed. And I was the skinniest kid in the class. And after a few minutes, I was watching, and I saw the fattest kid in the class, and he was dancing. I said, okay, if Jeffrey Wong can dance, I can dance. So I gave it a shot. And at the end of that first year, I remember Jacques came and visited us at some point in the middle of the year, and he sat us down on the steps. I don't know if you remember this. And he took out a blank piece of paper, and he furiously started drawing all these tiny circles. And we were all, what are all these tiny circles? He said, everybody has their own Jacques impression, so this is mine. "These are all the faces of all the little kids that are going to dance together at Madison Square Garden." So that's what it was. At the end of my first year dancing with National Dance Institute, we were 1,000 kids dancing in unison at Madison Square Garden. And I was a single snowflake in the show. And it changed my life. It changed my life because I learned about myself. I learned about my own possibilities, that anything is possible for me, whether it's being a dancer or being a filmmaker or being anything I want. I learned about being part of a team of people I knew and part of a team of people I didn't know and would never see again. And it really just transformed my view of the world. So as a kid growing up learning to dance, I dealt with all kinds of things, bullying and being a boy. Having the dance program in my school was certainly helpful, but that was still present for me in other parts of my life. And really just the ability to find something I was passionate about and keep doing it even when there were people saying, "Oh, you're gay for doing this," or "You're this for doing that," it gave me the experience of learning who I was. And so I got to slowly discover what's underlying the person that I've become, the person that I am. And so I eventually began to really get into tap dancing, and I started to choreograph my own stuff. And when I was 13, Ellen Weinstein, who's the artistic director of National Dance Institute, asked me if I would choreograph a dance for their end-of-the-year show. And I said, "I'm 13, I don't know. Maybe if you mentor me, I'll do it." So Jacques and Ellen mentored me, and we created this incredible piece. I learned about how music was composed. We worked with the musical director, Neil Kirkwood, and we created this piece. It was unbelievable to me. And over time, I started to film my choreography. And so I was moving the dancers around on the stage up until that point. And then suddenly with the cameras, I realized, wow, I can move the stage on the dancers. So that was a whole different frame of reference for me, and I started to get into visual storytelling, filmmaking, and that's what I studied in school. And I was really into that, but I was still also tap dancing, and I was like, how do I do these two things? So a year after college, I was offered a position teaching tap dancing to children in National Dance Institute's program in Santa Fe. I said, why not? So I went. And what was incredible was I saw the same pedagogy, the same way of working with children in the arts, having the same effect on these kids. I didn't know that it was going to work the same way. So I think other people knew that, but I didn't know that yet. I had to see it with my own eyes. So I got very interested in what is it about this particular way of introducing children to the arts that has a transformational impact. And one story I want to tell that kind of illustrates that point is I went into my tap level 1 class the first day in September that year, and it was supposed to be 9 through 12-year-olds who'd never tap danced before. So I walked in. Nobody told me there were going to be a couple of students there with special needs. So there was one girl who was 16 with Down syndrome, and there was another boy, I think he had cerebral palsy. His name was Darius, but his mom didn't want to tell us what he had because she thought we might treat him differently. So she said, listen, he can't move his arms, so just don't try to get him to dance with his arms because he's not going to do that. I said, okay. So I followed in the footsteps of my teachers, and I treated them just like all the other kids in the class. And I encouraged them to dance full body, just like I would with any other child. And over time, I saw that Darius had a really incredible sense of rhythm. So I would often have him stand up and demonstrate a tap rhythm for the rest of the class. And his confidence started to build, and I saw him evolving. And as I pushed the whole class, I saw him starting to move his arms a little bit, with a little bit of control. And the year went on, and the year went on, and by the end of the year, he was dancing with his arms. And, I don't think it was kind of a natural progression for him, but none of the people around him wanted to believe it. And I recognized that it's the belief that the people surrounding a child have in that child that gives them the possibility of living into that. It was the belief that he could dance with his arms and treating him just like everybody else that gave him that possibility. Otherwise, he would have lived into the possibility of, I can't use my arms. So I want to show a short film that I created while I was in New Mexico with my students there called Soul, Soul, Soul. It's S-O-L-E, S-O-U-L, S-O-L. And the reason we created this film was I wanted to ask the children, and adults as well, to bring in their culture to what we were doing in tap dance. I would ask them to bring in their own cultural garb, their own cultural dance steps, and translate those rhythms into a tap step. So we could see where's the rhythm that begins with our heartbeat that's translated into our feet. Where is that common ground for us? So I'd like to show this short film. It's 2.5 minutes long. It's called Soul, Soul, Soul. Take a look.
Tap. Tap. Tap.
Alma.
Culture.
It's the soul of my culture.
Rhythm.
El ritmo de mis pies es el alma de mi cultura.
Tap into the rhythm of your soul.
The rhythm of my culture is the rhythm in my feet.
El ritmo de mis pies es la canción de mi cultura.
Culture. Tap. Tap.
Tap.
Mexican.
Native American.
My culture.
Soul.
Rhythm. Tap.
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 The rhythm of my feet is the rhythm of my culture.
The rhythm in my feet is the soul of my culture.
Soul.
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 Spanish.
Native American.
Mexicanos.
Italian.
Dutch.
Jewish.
Católicos.
Hispanic.
Irish.
The rhythm of my feet is the song of my culture.
Tap into the rhythm of your soul.
Tap into the rhythm of your soul.
Alma.
Soul.
Soul. Soul.
Soul. Thank you. So that film was sort of like the pilot program for my journey starting to realize the impact that this type of work was having on children. And so I was speaking with some of my mentors, and we sort of collectively realized this story really needs to be told from the vision, from the perspective of the children living this experience. And how can we communicate the impact of the arts, and specifically dance, on children when it's integrated into the school, into their school curriculum. So we developed a film, the concept for a film called I Can Dance. I'm gonna ask everyone to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And what we're doing is, the concept is to follow 4 children in 4 different cities around the country, and National Dance Institute has 11 satellite, or sister affiliate programs around the country. 1 is in Chicago. And so we're gonna follow 4 children who've never danced before for an entire year learning to dance. And we're gonna see them in the schoolyard, in the dance studio, in the classroom. They're gonna have their own cameras to take home with them so that we can see through their eyes, through their 9-year-old eyes, how do they change as people through the course of this year. We're also going to hear from people similar to me who went through the program and now they're older, and what was the impact on them? How did it affect them long term? So we're really, really excited about this. Our plan is to film for the entire school year coming up, so starting next September, October. And I'm excited to show you a trailer for the film, which really communicates the concept. There'll be different children in the actual film because these guys are a little bit older now. But this is what we're out to do, and to create something that shows how the arts are indispensable. Oftentimes, so much of the time we see the arts are being slashed from budgets as the first thing to go. Even in New Mexico, there's no physical education in schools. So when National Dance Institute goes into the schools, they're the only physical activity these kids have in a generally sedentary culture. So take a look at the trailer, and then we'll talk a little bit more. So we can roll the trailer, please. Thank you.
From the award-winning producers of Nickelodeon's mega hit, The Naked Brothers Band, Kids House Entertainment and Footage Films present I Can Dance. Written and directed by veteran filmmaker and dancer Benjamin Ryan Nathan.
You'll get children coming in, what are we going to do? What is this dance stuff?
I was like, okay, maybe I'll just give it a try, but it's not going to be nothing big.
I just thought it was a little unusual. I was thinking, no, I'm not going to do this.
But then my friends started liking it.
There's nothing like seeing a child's face when they've realized they've mastered something.
A story of inspiration, hope, and triumph.
I'm from Jersey City, so gangs are like everywhere. I can't even play outside in front of the door because my mom doesn't think it's safe.
Our neighborhood is pretty tough. We come from the Bronx. We try to make it work. Hopefully in the future maybe I can buy a home and get them out of the city.
If I do dance, I'm doing it for a reason. I'm doing it because I know I'm doing something good. It makes you busy, so you can't quit school and go on gangs and stuff, and maybe you be in the Hall of Fame or something.
Well, basically, dance helps me express my feelings.
The skills needed to succeed in the dance class are skills that they will use and take with them to negotiate their way through life.
If you don't dance, you don't really know how to do a lot of things.
Discipline and how to express myself in different ways.
It sort of makes me
express my dance so I don't always have to keep it inside.
Dance set me straight.
It's changed their genes. It's changed the way they think about themselves.
Featuring Jacques Demoise and the children of National Dance Institute. Kids from all walks of life will learn to dance. The only competition is with themselves. Be part of the magic. I Can Dance. Coming soon.
Thank you. So I'm just so excited to share this with you guys, and so really indebted to the people who've taught me and who've paved the way for this, and really see myself as a conduit for telling this story and getting it out there. So, you know, if you can follow us online and connect with us and help us to spread the word about what we're doing, you know, we're just trying to get the word out to as many people as possible as we gear up for shooting the film. And I just want to say thank you so much to Andrea and to Gloria and to everyone who's created this space. And are there a couple minutes left, or should I wrap it up? Wrap it up, or a couple minutes? You want? All right, I'll dance a little bit more, just for a second. Okay.